meet you. I really wanted to, have you come on the show and tell your story and stuff like that.
Hey, it's nice to be here, man. I thank you for reaching out to me and giving me the opportunity.
Yeah, so what made you become a martial artist? Like what was the influence behind that?
My dad. My dad is the founder and creator of our style, Red Dragon Karate. My dad was my hero, and I wanted to be around him, so I went to the studio and started learning martial arts.
That and I hate that you guys get excluded out of everything because y'all pretty much as important as the Shakur side of the family as well. I just hate that they don't put y'all like in the movies and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm just glad people, like it and I enjoy the history and
Everyone, welcome to the 1804 Show, Chapter 2. I'm your host, Dollar Wheel, and this is episode 845. Hit like, comment, subscribe to the channel, the 1804 Show, Chapter 2. Now let's begin. First time on the show today, my homeboy, Donald Cooper, and we just finna have a good time and just finna keep it real like I always do. But yeah, you want to donate to the channel? Cash App, $, the 1804 Show. I will leave a link in the description box. But finna bring them in here now so we can begin. Yo, yo.
What it do? What it do? What
Man,
going
nothing.
on?
Man, nothing, man. Welcome to the show.
Man, appreciate you having me, man. Appreciate you having me, man.
Yeah, I know. It's the first time, man. Because when you had asked me to come on the show, and you was just talking about regular people, I'm like, ain't nobody, no superstars like that, man. Like, I don't even be pressing about that, bro. Like, because
Yeah,
if anybody wants to come on my platform, it's love, man. Because this shit ain't easy.
I already know.
So,
I already know. I like to show love everywhere, man. So it's all good. It's all good.
yeah,
How
no
you been?
doubt. Man, I've been good, bro. Just making sure I stay consistent, man. Just working on this content and just staying out the way. You know what I'm saying?
That's the
How about
best
you?
thing. That best thing going, man. I just, man, busy with the family, the kids, and my son be doing all his track stuff, man. We be everywhere. And then his band, and my daughter, she finna graduate next week from high school. So then my wife, she got her nail business going, so she be having me busy helping her out, getting things back and forth to the shop. So just be ripping and running, trying to be everywhere, man. Support the family.
Oh, I hear that, man. So y'all sound like y'all really successful over there.
Man, we trying to do something, man. Trying to keep these kids out of trouble. You know, they the teenage years now, man, so they starting to feel themselves. So I have to check them a little
Oh,
bit, keep them in line.
yeah, no doubt, man. And
Right, right.
it's crazy because I can relate. My nieces, they teenagers now, and it's just really crazy just how I remember watching them as a baby, and
Right.
now they just having all this full length conversations with me using big words, and I'm just blowing me away. So
Right, right,
yeah.
right.
So what brings you on the show tonight, bro?
Man, shoot, man, just love to be able to show love and connect with my people from the hometown, from the SAG, man. And I don't come home as often, so see you got your platform going on. Love to get on and just chop it up with you and just have a good conversation, man. And whatever leads to, it leads to. Whatever we talk about is what we talk about, man. I'm grown, so hey, you grown. We're gonna have a good conversation. We're gonna have a good conversation.
Oh, for sure, man. And it just really be crazy because nowadays it's just no type of support. You know what I'm saying? Because I know a whole lot of people that hate to see you doing better than them. But as long as
Right.
you're doing good, you're not a
Yeah.
threat.
Right, right, right. Yeah, you get a little in front of them, then here come all the whip, the lash, the hate, the pullback, the non-support. I don't understand it, man. For some reason I think it's like it's a culture situation. People don't like to see others do well unless they don't know them or not from around the same area or whatever. But for me, man, I just like to see all our people win, man. I'm big on everybody trying to win. I got some partners that do real good. I ain't into the big onto the platform stuff, but
Yeah.
I watch it, and I try to keep up. I feel like I'm a little dinosaur. I'm like out of date with all the technology shit, man. I be trying to keep up. My kids try to keep me up with it, but I'm old. So I don't even like FaceTime, and so that's how old school I am. So.
Oh yeah, so you deeply stepped out your comfort zone for this, right?
Yeah, yeah. This is a little different. Yeah, this is a little different. But I'm known at work and stuff. Everybody like to come to me and have these deep conversations, deep talks, and talk about all type of different stuff, from sports to life to just anything, kids, marriages, anything, man. I'm always been and I do a lot of reading and stuff, and I've been a lot of places, and I lived in different places in different states and stuff as being growing up as a Navy kid. So
Hmm.
I just be able to have a different outlook on some things that some people be closed minded because they only been where they from. They haven't really left nowhere and moved nowhere and lived nowhere else. So they just got tunnel vision and only see it just that one way.
Oh, I agree because I would say I was almost like everybody else until my aunt invited me to come move to New York and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Because I was pretty much out here in these streets, just wandering the wilderness and everything. And she was just like, look, if you stay in Saginaw, something bad gonna happen to you or you gonna go to jail.
yeah,
And I can't have that on my conscience. And you a good kid. You just need to get a wave and just explore.
yeah,
And when I got there, man, it was like a whole just culture shock. Like just being able to walk outside at night, like after hours and stuff like that, nobody
right.
bothers you, and everybody has like this big misconception about New York, man. Because when
What
you're an out
part?
of towner,
What part of
oh,
New York?
I lived in Utica, and then I had spent some days and I spent some nights in Harlem
No.
and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But it was like really cool because I was like, damn, like y'all be out here all night. They're like, yeah, like nobody bothers you like that. Oh, you be believing them movies, huh? And I'm like, hell yeah, I believe the
right,
movies because I've
right.
never really, been there. But it
Yeah,
was it was all
crazy.
love.
Yeah,
It was all love. I was just mad at the fact that it wasn't no dollar menu at McDonald's and all the cans and bottles is 5 cents.
yeah,
That's what I was mad about, you know what I'm saying? Because I was broke, you know what I'm saying? But I had the best time, man, when I really didn't have no responsibilities and I would just hang out with my friends when I met some friends and it was
right,
cool.
right.
It was real
That's what's
laid
up,
back
man.
and stuff.
Yeah,
But
that's what's up right there. Yeah, that was up. Yeah, New York is definitely different. Yeah, definitely different from Saginaw, and definitely different from where I'm currently at in Memphis, Tennessee. So, yeah, New York. I ain't been up there in a while. I've been up there. It's been a long time since I've been up there, but I got an uncle that live like in he live in I think he live in Connecticut, but he got an apartment in Harlem though. So he used to teach in New York, and I think he drive back and forth to Connecticut or something like that. But he still got his apartment somewhere in Harlem, so he like to commute. And I had a cousin that was a big time jazz musician. He was living in New York. He used to always try to get me to come up there, but I never really made it up there before he passed.
mhm.
But yeah, New York is dope though. From the last time I've been up there when I was young, but New York is New York is New York.
Oh, no doubt. And it's just after that, bro, just really changed my perspective because once you leave and be able to survive somewhere and then you come back, it's just
Yeah,
as if you just feel so out of place. And I still do, because a whole lot of people just don't understand me. Like, I'm very misunderstood, and which is that's a good thing, because it's like I can't be figured out. But I just learned things just over the years that never take anything that you have for granted.
Right.
So it's just all about perspective and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Perspective is something serious, man, because everybody got their lens on how they see and view life and view things. And if we could get to the point to be able to understand somebody else's perspective
Hmm.
and take the emotion out of things, then you can really, grasp what they're saying
Right.
and their point of view, But a lot of times, any type of disagreement or argument or debates and stuff, folks just get so emotional and they get involved in what's being said instead of actually hearing the rhetoric that's in it to understand. Most just want to get their point across and say, well, I was right. But your opinion don't always make you right. Your feelings don't always make you right. We allowed to feel whatever we feel, but just because you feel some type of way don't mean it's right to feel that way. It's just how you felt.
Oh, no doubt. And how about you tell us about your upbringing a little bit?
Yeah. Man, my parents, both from Michigan. My mom from Saginaw,
Hmm.
and my dad from Lansing, and they met in college at Saginaw Valley. And
Okay.
my mom, she was a track runner. She used to run track, so she was on a track scholarship there. My dad just went there just as a normal student, and shit happens in college. My mom get pregnant with my older brother, so she drops out. And then my dad, he ended up finishing. He graduated out of Saginaw Valley, but he ended up enlisting into the Navy. And he ended up joining the Navy or whatever. And they go up. Matter of fact, they moved to New York. He was on Officer Candidate School up there in the nuclear power or something like that he was doing.
Hmm.
And so, they had a little thing up there. And mom wasn't really feeling it. Being from where she was from in Saginaw, she ain't really like living upstate New York where they was at. So she moved back to Saginaw. Dad get done with the little training up there. He gets some new orders and moved to Georgia. And then mom ended up moving back down there with him in Georgia. And that's where I came. I was born in Georgia. I was born in Athens.
Okay.
And so for like the beginning of my life, we moved from place to place all over. So we moved from Athens, Georgia, then we moved to Philly. Now this before my memory. My memory starts when we moved to Nevada after they moved to Philly. We moved to Fallon, Nevada, this little small, predominantly Navy town. And then we was probably like, I think it was maybe 2 or 3 black families in that whole town, man. And then that's where I kind of like start developing the understanding is something different between how I looked and how some of the other kids was looking, by the way of what was being said and how you was treated at times at daycare and school and stuff like that. But we left that way after my parents ended up divorcing when they was in Nevada. And so my mom ended up moving to Long Beach, California. And my dad, he ended up getting some orders and had to go like back overseas or whatever. So boom, then we moved to Long Beach. And Long Beach, man, moving from Nevada, we was like some Western cowboy black kids, man, wearing the little boots with the little spurs and the little buckles and shit, the belt. And man, we moved to Long Beach, California, boy. You talking about a rude awakening. Welcome to black culture. And man, it was alive at 5 back then. And so we moved out there. It was like early 90s, like 91, 91-ish. And that's where I started, like, I think first grade. Yeah, first grade. I did first grade and second grade. No, I did kindergarten, first grade out there. And then but California, man, California. I'm thankful for California, but it was one of the most scariest times of my childhood because it was so rough, man, in L.A. Because I was out there doing the Rodney King riot era,
Yeah.
and so we seen some crazy stuff popping off out there. And but we stayed on Navy houses. Navy houses was like apartments, you know what I'm saying, just all for Navy families. And so, you know, they used to have all the riots going on, and you see all this stuff on TV, you know, but we used to do all this fighting in the neighborhood and just all this black versus. It was really more black and Mexicans going at it back in the day.
Right.
And so we, at school, we would have all this racial tension going on, and it's like, so Long Beach made us tough, man. It taught me and my brother how to learn how to fight, how to learn how to stand up for yourselves, get tired of getting chased home every day. And, you know, moms was like, look here, y'all ain't gonna keep running in this house every day. We used to get chased through this little neighborhood we had to walk through, man, by all these Mexicans, man. And they used to chase us, and I mean, they had chased us all the way to the door. And mom, one day, she left 2 sticks out there. It's like, today y'all ain't coming in the house. Y'all gotta figure it out. Like, y'all ain't gonna keep running in this house. Y'all gonna have to learn how to stand up. And shoot, me and my brother, that's the first time I can remember fighting for myself and like standing up for trying to protect me and my brother, you know. And from there on, you know, you just start having your little normal neighborhood one-on-one situations. But it was some good times in Long Beach, but for me as a kid, I remember most of the bad.
Right.
The little trauma that was going on, and had a couple of race riots at school and stuff like that, because the elementary I went to was all on the same block with the middle school and high school.
Ooh.
And so, like, it used to be like this big courtyard. And, man, everybody meet right there because they had like a little donut truck, little donut van, little ice cream van, and a little snack van. Everybody get out of school, you got your little money, whatever, go get your little snacks before you go home. And man, one day it just popped off. And you talking about one of the biggest riots I ever noticed that we ever seen of being in, and being like 5 years old. That was the first time I seen somebody get murdered, man. They shanked this kid in front of me and my brother and them. And you know, so it'd be like little stories like that, little situations you was in. And then my stepdad, he was out there too, but his family was heavy into the gang life. So we'd go visit them. They on some other stuff, and I'm like, man, this is crazy. All this, like all this chaos we got to deal with. But you think it's normal because this is what you know now. This is like a new normal.
Right.
And so after about 2 years living there, man, me and my brother decided we want to go stay with our dad. And so he got some orders to be able to stay local, to stay in the States. So he moved to Virginia, to Alexandria, Virginia, right outside of D.C.
Right.
So we move out there. And now it's another shock, culture shock, because now we going from L.A. where it was our little small area was all black and Mexican and stuff, and then now we go out here to Alexandria, Virginia. Now it's like a predominantly another little white area again, and so it was a little. We got to adjust back to how they are out here.
Yeah.
And now we kind of in the South, so you know it was a little different from the West Coast. And so you know little situations you will have, you know, and stuff like that. But after that, once we left there, my mom decided to move back. Well, she was pregnant with my little brother, and she decided, her and my stepdad decided to move back to Michigan. They moved to Saginaw in 90. Well, they moved to Grand Rapids in 93, and then they moved to Saginaw in 94. And when we got out of school that summer, we moved back up to Saginaw. Then I stayed in Saginaw until I graduated high school, and then moved down here to Memphis. So had a little time being at different little places and different schools every year, and you know, never being able to have the same friends until I got to like really middle school, to like about 6th, 7th grade. And then I started being able to be friends with the same kids over and over again.
Hey, that's a great story, man, because I know what you're talking about with the culture shock because when I moved to St. Louis back in 2010, it was
Yeah,
a whole different vibe. Like, because they used to laugh at me because how I talk and
right,
everything,
right,
and
right.
they used to sound like they was planting tobacco seeds and stuff like that. You
Yeah.
know, so,
And see, St. Louis Midwest, but they
yeah,
country though.
yeah,
They country
yeah,
like they in the South, because they pretty much is in the South, but they very country like the South. You know what I'm saying? But they like to claim they Midwest like Michigan and stuff. I'm like in Chicago, Illinois, and all. I'm like, nah, y'all country as hell over there in St. Louis though.
yeah, hell yeah.
I definitely understand that.
But that's like the most beautiful women down there. Like
Yeah,
I was just smitten. I didn't want to go home, but I was down there for a job corps or whatever
oh,
because
okay.
I,
Yeah,
I just wanted to do something different, man. Because I tell everybody who hasn't been through just being alienated or outcasted and stuff like that by their family, just being
right,
told that they will never amount to nothing. Like I was so desperate to the point to go somewhere that no one knew me
right,
to change and to get a better life. And I met some of the greatest people down there, and these people didn't know me from a can of paint, but they helped
right,
me.
right,
They was just like, "What are you doing down here?" and stuff. Like you ain't no bad person. You ain't got no record, cause
right,
cause Job Corps isn't like how it is in the commercials or the brochures and stuff like that. You know how in a commercial they be trying to pimp us and stuff. The
right, right,
public who don't have the knowledge of it. So I was thinking like, okay, well I'm gonna be in a college campus and like a environment type thing, and I'm gonna learn how to have a trade or whatever. And then
right,
I get
right.
down there, man. I see barbed wire. I'm being frisked, all that. I'm like, damn, what the hell is this? This jail? And I was kind of like, yeah, this is jail. And then I was in the damn center. This shit looked like a concentration camp.
Right,
So, but it saved my life, man. Like it gave me discipline, it gave me
right.
structure, and at first, I didn't want to listen, and then I was fighting a lot because I was just angry
Bang.
because
Yeah,
of
yeah,
the
yeah.
stuff I was dealing with, like back at the crib, man. Because like I was bouncing from my mama's house, my sister's house, both my grandmother's houses, so it was just kind of like musical houses at that
Right, right, right.
time,
Yeah.
you know. And it's a scary
Stability is a
thing.
need for kids.
Yeah,
Kids need stability, for sure.
yeah,
They need to feel safe somewhere.
yeah, and it's just like was a scary thing for me because I ended up going to the homeless shelter, and that's the same place my brother passed away in.
Oh, damn, man. Hate to hear that.
Yeah, it's all good, bro. Like a lot of people don't know that, but I was
Yeah.
able to um, beat the odds because I just remember like the first night I got there, I was just like crying my eyes out, and my roommates was like, nigga, what's wrong with you? And I just had told them the situation. I just told them how I got here and what led to me getting here. They was just like, man, you gonna be all right, man. You know, we gonna have your back and stuff like that. We ain't gonna ever leave you. And then a week later, we all get separated.
Go figure, man.
Yeah, so I'm really pissed, you know what I'm saying? And I was like one of the biggest dudes there. So people was just like trying me.
Right.
And I would just have to, you know what I'm saying, stand on my own 2 feet, man, because they think because they was from Chicago, St. Louis, Memphis, or
Mhm.
whatever, and they just thought that, like, I was soft. Like, we ain't got
Right.
no hoods here, you know what I'm
Man, yeah, and that's one thing that kills me.
saying?
People swear down wherever they from. That's the only the hoodest areas in the country. Be like every city's got the hoods, bro.
hmm
Sure. You know, hey, I be trying to tell them, man. folks when I moved out here, they always used to try to use that. Man, I'm from so and so neighborhood. I'm from so and so project. Man, I don't know what none of that said. Right? If I get to tell you where I grew up in Saginaw, you ain't gonna know what I'm talking about. Either we gonna fight or we ain't, cause I ain't running.
Oh, no
So
doubt.
it is what it is. But yeah, that's the thing they like to use down here a lot too, man. They like to bluff of saying where they from, like that's gonna scare you off or something. It'd be like for a person that don't have a clue what that is, it don't mean nothing.
No doubt.
So it's either you about the action or you ain't about it. So
Man, no doubt, bro. And I just kind of felt like at the time I had nowhere else to turn to because I feel like there was no going back. Because when
yeah,
I did go back or whatever, or when I decided to go back, I wanted to go back as a person that won instead of a person that lost.
I got you. I got you.
So,
So,
but it was just like really dope because since I had like graduated high school, went to college and stuff like that, they pushed me right to my trade at that time. Because usually when people go there, they do like a week of high school classes and then they do their trade. So they there
right.
like a long substantial of time. But for me, I would say it was 6 months. Yeah, 6 months. But it was cool, like, because I was able to meet people, right? And they pretty much was just coming out of jail or never graduated high school or went
Right.
to the prom. And they was just used to ask me, like, so what that felt like? I'm like, felt like what? And it was like, going to the prom, man. I know you had a great time. And I'm like, dog, it's just another dance. It was like, oh, well, at least you got the chance to go to that dance.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you got a point. Because,
Yep. Yep. That man is major because
you
my
know,
wife, she never made it to her prom. She didn't get a chance to go to her prom. So you take it for granted, man, when you do those things in school and you assume everybody your age is doing these same things.
hmm
But in reality, everybody's not. Everybody is not in school still. Some people dropping out 14, 15, having kids early, life situations, families, parents are sick and they taking care of siblings. I mean, it be so much going on, but you caught up in your little world. We just expect, I be like, I really didn't realize, man, until I met my wife, how naive I was to a lot of things that I experienced coming up. Like, dang, you ain't get a chance to do this. You ain't get a chance to do that. And it's humbling sometimes. You be like, well, damn, you don't know what that's like.
hmm
Okay, and so you got to start seeing people from their end on why they wasn't able to see. Be like, oh, okay, because I used to think about Job Corps when I was in school. I hear people go down there. I thought it was always for like bad people or something,
hmm
bad kids, or like you say, people out of jail or something. I never heard it to be talked about as a good place to go. But my wife, she ended up graduating out of Job Corps and got she got her GD out of there. She ended up getting her trade out of there, and so she started her whole life out of Job Corps. So yeah, made me see it from a totally different point of view that I never known before.
Oh, no doubt. I won't say it's a bad place. I would say like it's gonna be some problems when you first get there
Yeah,
if you're not used to the environment. Because I felt like I was so out of place. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
I
Right,
was just I was just looking for somewhere to sleep,
right,
pretty much. And when I got there, I began to take it serious. You know what I'm saying? And moved up the ladder and stuff. I was room captain, and then I became president of the dorm and stuff,
okay,
and I had that responsibility, and I was real close with both of my RAs and stuff like that, because it would be one in the morning, one at night,
right.
and I was real close with both of them, man. They was both black men, older gentlemen, and that was like my father figures. And then I ended up going to anger management because I got into this big fight. And they gotta punish the big dude.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. You gotta get your just due. Yeah,
Yeah, so I went to anger management and stuff. I had to do community service for 40 hours and stuff like that. But going
Yeah.
to anger management really saved my life because I met my teacher up in there, and I still talk to him to this day. You know what I'm saying, when I can or whatever. But just the fact, like, he really took a liking to me, and he used to take us to church on Sundays, and we would go
Okay.
back to his house, and he would cook us food, and we would watch TV, and really just have like summits and stuff. Me and a group of kids from his class that he likes or whatever. But I really needed that at that time because I really felt alone. I felt like
Yeah.
people just washed their hands off with me and just really didn't get the chance to get to know me. Like, because I don't know, it's just like in the black community, bro, it's like we don't respect evolution in each other.
No.
You know,
No.
because how they look at you now is how they gonna view you forever. You
Yeah. And they don't
know.
expect you don't never supposed to change. You got to stay the same that you was when you were 15. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You got to stay the same you was when you was 21. Man, you got to evolve, man. We got to grow. You know what I'm saying? We got to mature. We got to become different and become better. And that's the only way we going to get the progress. You know, but somebody, oh, man, when I moved away from Saginaw and I started coming back and I see some of my partners I was real cool with in high school, they ain't got into the streets and shit, and then I'd be like, bro, I can't really hang with you like that. Y'all can't go certain places. I'm still want to go to the parties or whatever. I want to go here. You know, I got, some women or something I want to go see or something like that. And you talking about you can't go here, you can't man, look here. My life ain't here no more, man. I gotta get back to Memphis, bro. That's where I live. Like I ain't got time to get caught up in the mess. Oh, cool, you changed, you ain't the same. You right. I did change.
I'm
You
supposed
changed
to.
too. Shit. You know, we ain't kids no more, man. You gotta grow up. But sometimes it be like that when you stuck in that same environment and you don't see what's the reason to change or why you should, or is you don't have that light bulb or that light down in that tunnel somewhere bringing you over there to be like, hey man, it's different over here. If you try to do some different things, you change the way you act or change who you hang around, change your surroundings, your life could be different. But you get caught up just hanging with the same people that ain't doing no different, man. You go stay in that same black hole, man.
Yeah, I agree. And it's just really crazy because since I really began to just take this show seriously, I really began to lose all my male best friends. Because
Oh damn.
when I wasn't doing nothing,
Yeah.
we was locked in. It was on the same frequency.
Right.
But the moment I began to take my life seriously, because I tell everybody, because they always ask me about, so what is it like to have a podcast and what it's like to have met all those celebrities you met. And I'm just like, I'm still me. I'm still regular
Right.
because I didn't plan on changing. People changed on me. It's
Right.
and I don't really see it from the outside looking in, like, because I really feel like, yes, I have done incredible things and made legendary milestones and stuff like that. But I'm still Will, man. I'm still
Right.
approachable. I'm still, I'm not accessible like I used to be, but I'm still very easygoing. But it was just coming to a point where people were just like, "Oh, you think you better than everybody," and this and that. And I'm like, I don't think that, because I realized just in life and everything that you do in what field or career that you pursue, work
Right.
is mandatory. Because if you ain't putting that work in, then
Right.
you're not
Right.
gonna be anything or be anybody. Because it's a craft, just
Right. Right.
skills
True that.
and stuff like that.
True
So I wanted to ask you, because I always wanted to be a husband. I always wanted to be a father
that.
and stuff like that. So when you met your wife, and stuff like that. Like, how did you know she was the one?
Okay, well, so this is my second marriage. So
Okay.
my first one, um, that's what my son with. My son is from my first wife,
Okay.
his mom, and but me and my current wife, we don't have kids together, but we got blended families, hers and mine.
Yeah.
But how I knew when I met her was very different from how I met my first wife, and
Okay.
I was younger too when I met my first wife. I was early 20s, 21, 22 type. So I was a fool still then. So it, it was cutthroat era,
Right.
So it was different from meeting her at 21, 22 than how I met my current wife now when I was in my 30s. And I
Okay.
was calmer. I wasn't as wild as I was when I was in my early 20s. I was looking to settle down, wanted to be settled down, you know. And but the crazy thing, me and my current wife, we met, man, on a night. I used to go to this little spot down here. It's called it used to be called Clicks, but they changed the name now. It's like a little pool hall, and they do like the little singing stuff, the little karaoke,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And so we used to go there on Saturdays. But I was going through the divorce with my first wife, and I had just took my kids down to Atlanta, and spent down there for Christmas break. We had spent about 4 days down there, and just took them down there, and just to get away because I needed to see was they okay. You know what I'm saying? Because I was at a crossroads where I was, man, I was prepared to do something so stupid just because you love your kids. I was
Right.
prepared to sacrifice my happiness for life just to make sure they was
Yeah.
good. You know what I'm saying? To stay in a situation that I knew was going to be unhealthy and toxic and probably dangerous, just to make sure they still had their dad and mom in the same house.
Hmm.
And that's the power of love you have for your children, and the love they have for you. You put yourself in some situation. You be like, man, look. So I took them down there to see was they gonna be okay without me living with them every day. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Because they whole beginning of their life, all they know is me and their mom. That's all they know.
Hmm.
And so taking that trip, it showed me that like my kid's okay. You know what I'm saying? Dad can move on, and dad could just go start his life and do his own thing, and they gonna be all right. And so when I got back to Memphis, I went out on a Friday night, wasn't feeling it. Went out with some of my partners that dragged me out Friday night, wasn't feeling it. Then I had some of my Masonic brothers hit me up on Saturday. Was like, cool, man, we want you to come with us to the spot. I'm like, man, I ain't really feeling it, bro. And they like, man, it ain't no party without you, man. You have everything pop. You gonna have the women over, woo, woo. We gonna have a good time. I'm like, man, I don't know. I said, all right, well, I'm gonna come on through. So I go with them, meet them out there, and the crazy thing, we up in there, man. I'm having a good time, and I'm conversing back and forth with this young lady, and I was feeling this little lady when I first got there. Man, we vibing, having a good time. Then all of a sudden, it's this group of women walk through, and I seen this one. I was like, man, she beautiful. I said, man, I gotta take a chance at that one. I'm gonna have to say something. I'm gonna have to throw my rock out there in that water and see what's gonna happen. Now. See if I can land. And so I was scouting, put on the scout to see if she with somebody, if there's some dude here waiting on her or something like that. But I see like this whole group, ain't no dudes at their table and nobody. A couple dudes walking up to the table to say something, but they getting turned around and it ain't going in their favor. So I'm like, well, shoot, they might be single. Man, and her sister, her twin sister got up and rapped the Cardi B song. And I had asked the DJ, and we come from Saginaw, we like to slow dance and shit like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I tell the DJ to play this little song. I'm like, man, when that song, I could tell she like damn, because she been dancing the whole night. And I said, man, when they play this song, I'm gonna go over there and see, like a sweet talker and see if she'll want to dance with me or whatever. And I get up to go over there, and when I was telling her, sister, I'm like, man, you did a good job up there on that stage. And then she just hopped up in front of me. My wife just hopped in front of me, and I was like, well, showtime now, my boy.
Right.
Let's see what you got. And so we just got to chopping it up, and we just got to sitting there talking with each other. And matter of fact, they ended up playing the song I asked him to play. So we start dancing or whatever, and so we just had a good time, and we exchanged numbers. And man, that was like the day before New Year's Eve, so it was like December 30th. And then fast forward, I was like, the next day I was like, well, what you got planned for New Year's Eve? She like, she was gonna go out with her sister then for New Year's Eve. I'm like, nah, I ain't doing that. I'm gonna let y'all have that one. I said, but if you want to go, we could get dinner or something before y'all go out. Let's grab some dinner and let's chop it up. And man, we went and had dinner, and man, we had a good conversation, just talking, and man, we started dating from there. And the crazy thing was, at that time, I had stopped talking to all the other women I was already previously talking to before I did that Atlanta trip.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just wanted to start this new year off with a fresh plate, just decide if I'm going to get a whole roster or I'm going to just, find somebody and just talk to him. And man, me and her started talking on that date, and I ain't talked to nobody since, man. I've been in love with that woman since. And it was just about her realness, man. She was able to see me for kind of like who I was, and then some of the things she was able to share with me. We had some connections on certain topics that you might not want to share with other people. Or when you do bring it up to people, they look at you funny.
Yeah.
They be, well, you into that? You know what I'm saying? We found out we was kind of like into the same type of thing. And so our bond just kept growing, and we dated for about like 2 years, and we got engaged, and then we got married after that. And so we've been married. It'll be 5 years next month. It'll be 5 years next month.
Oh, bro, man, congratulations, man. Like,
appreciate it. It got its ups and downs. It's gonna have its highs and lows in marriages, man. It takes work. But,
yeah.
you gotta. That's the thing. People like to have weddings, but don't want to be in a marriage. You know what I'm saying? The marriage is all that sparkly shit go out the window. All that, the stuff that you, when you first met them, it was like, oh, it's just googly eyes and all that go out the window over the years, because now you're starting to see, when you start breaking down the barrier of who this person truly is, it's not the person you first started dating.
Right.
Because we cover our insecurities, we cover up our little skeletons, we cover up our little things that we don't want people to see.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you get comfortable, then the walls get to coming down, and you start seeing, oh, so you're different now. You start finding out different triggers and different things that make people mad, and you start, so that's the part people don't be really want to work through. And in life, man, you're gonna have to work through some things. And with me and her, we just fight for each other every day. And every day might not be perfect, but it's with us together, and we're gonna make the best out of it. And we have a lot of great times, and we're gonna have some bad times. That's just gonna be a part of it. But I love her to the end, man. That's my dog right there. And so yeah, that's just how we got to rocking. And so yeah, now we about to be 5 years married in. Been pretty much together about 8 years altogether, because we started rocking in 17, and here it is 25 now. So that's how that goes.
Yeah, that's what's up, bro. Because this dating market is trash now. Like, the expectations ain't matching the reality.
Yeah, boy. I'm talking about, I be like, where do they get this stuff from? Like, they don't live live in real world. They don't live in reality. I
No.
think people get so caught up in what they see on these TV shows and they don't have a sense of like what true life is. Like, how do you expect? I seen a video not the other day. They were just asking women like how much a man spent on you on the first date. Man, they jumping off the porch 1,000, 1,500. I'm like, on the first date, don't even know. Hey, girl, you must want me to go to jail the first day. Because I'm a real one now. I don't know who you think you dealing with.
Man, for real. And it's funny because I wish I would spend 1,500 on the first date. I don't even know. I don't even know if you a woman or a man yet. Like,
Right.
what you talking about? $1,500?
I ain't seen nothing.
You're right.
Just none out. You don't even spend 1,500 without test driving the car first. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Hell yeah, they tripping.
Damn. We gotta go to the most expensive places, everything on the first. I'm like, what's wrong with man? I'm talking about me and my wife, my current wife right now. Our first date was we went to Red Lobster and we sat there, and she had me waiting. She ain't gonna like that if she listens. She had me waiting for a long ass time. Her ass was late as a motherfucker. For football season, I got caught on watching the game a little bit, drinking my little brew. And she finally pulled up on me. But when she walked up in there, boy, I'm talking about she lit up that restaurant. I was like, yeah, I still remember she had this pink dress on, man, the nice little heels on her looking so nice and her nails looking so pretty. She was looking so pretty. I was like, I said, I didn't know we was getting all down because I just got on a Old Navy long sleeve. Thought we were just having a regular day.
Man.
She came to get it up, man, and I was like, man, you pressure. You real pressure. And yeah, we've been rocking like that since, but yeah, the expectation now in the dating pool is it's bananas, bro. I feel for a lot of people. And I'm like, if somehow it didn't work between my wife now, man, I don't know how to date. I don't know. I probably have to just go get a grandma or something. You know, I'm gonna have to go get somebody that old that just don't care no more. Shit, look here, this little pool now, man. These young people, man, they just it's all about trying to upstage folk. It seems like.
Yeah.
And trying to prove that, oh, you got all this going on. And I got to, if you could waste $1,500 on a date, you know what you could do with that $1,500 to help benefit yourself and make things look better? Like, there's other things you could do to get to know somebody then. Because you really can't get to know people like that, man. You spending that type of money going out somewhere, y'all ain't really getting the time to really converse with one another to try to break down the barriers of who each other is. You know what I'm saying? You need to be able to walk and talk somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And just to see, can y'all vibe?
Yeah.
You know? Shit, I'm 1,500. I'm not even worried about if we vibing. I know what I'm wanting. If this ain't getting that, well, it can't even get this far. Because it's not even a realistic expectation to me to ask for somebody to spend that much. And, you know, I just think a first date should just be whatever y'all do. It should just be really a simple hangout spot, talk. You know, if people into coffee or something, I'll go get coffee or something. Like, I ain't no coffee guy, but they got water. I drink water. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Or go walk in the park. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, some way y'all could just be able to hold conversation to try to see who each other are. And you build off of that and see where it goes to the next date and the next date before you get to trying to spend all this money. It's like, what's the rush? Yeah.
Yeah, I truly agree because nowadays you just don't know people's interior motives and stuff like that. And like I somebody recently, and she got kids and stuff like that, and she can't have any more kids.
Okay.
But I fell for her deeply, but I want my own family someday. And I asked this question to a lot of people: was I wrong for calling it quits because I want my own family? And one person was just like, "Oh, I think you're being really petty, and you may be not destined to be a parent." And I was like, "How would you know that? Like, it's the deadbeats or the deadbeats are able to be parents, and they may be toxic, narcissistic, deadbeat ass father, but at least they a father. Like, it's the key word in there, father. Like, I want to be able to experience that someday because that's the rite of passage
Right.
for us men. Because shoot, that's really one of the reasons why we become men in the first place is our children and our spouses or whoever we're with.
Mm-hmm. No,
Because
for me, bro, I don't think he was wrong at all. It's just, man, people don't like it, but I can't hold you, man. We being real on
yeah,
here.
no, for real though. Keep it real.
If I was able to start all the way over, man, before I had children, man, I couldn't really see myself ever dating somebody seriously that already had children.
Right.
And I'm in a blended family, and I love my blended family. But the thing is, it comes with it comes with a lot of responsibility, man. And for people that don't have children, that get into a situation where a woman already has children, or the man already has children, and the woman don't, I just tell, if you could start your own, start your own. You know, because everybody's so different, man. And like, I grew up in a blended family. Well, I ain't grew up in a blended family.
Mm-hmm.
But when my parents divorced and separated, you know, my mom remarried, my dad remarried. Both of them remarried for 30 years. And but my stepdad, he had to step in, and it was me and my brother already there, you know. And when my dad remarried, his wife had to deal with me and my brother already being there. Now, my stepdad wanted kids, so him and my mom, they ended up having two, but one of our brothers didn't make it. He was like a stillborn, died right before he was born. And but my stepmom, she never wanted kids, and so that was a weird factor on how she brought that to our attention. She was like, I think if she could go back, she would have changed the way she said it. we first met us. We first met her. We sitting down. They took us in the room. She was like, "Yeah, you know, I ain't want kids, and I don't like kids." And from there on, it was like, we gonna call mama right now. Like, you know, she must be Corella Deville or something. Like,
Right.
yeah, you don't like kids, you don't want kids. You know, my dad already had us. Like, we ain't just like, shoot. I'm like, you know, we weren't little babies, but we were still young. Like, at that time, I was like 6, and my brother was probably like 10. So I mean, you know, we ain't the babies, but you still got to look out for us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so it's complicated, man. You know, and people don't like to be honest about it, but bro, it's tough, man. When you're in blended families, man, I can't hold you, man. It's a tough situation, and I tell people all the time, if you choose using a relationship, and then she already had kids, and you want one and she can't, and you choose to leave, you ain't wrong in that situation, man. It's your life. Now, if you choose, then that's what you chose. You know? Now, I'll tell people, when you choose to stay, then you got to choose everybody. You can't pick and choose who you going to support. you're gonna have to support them all. You know,
Right.
if you stay. So make your choice and stand by it. So like same for me. I made my choice. I met my wife, she already had kids or whatever. She knew I had kids. We gonna rock. And we gonna rock together as all. We gonna be one family. It ain't gonna be mine, yours, woo woo woo. Nah, we gonna take care of all our kids. It's just the
Yeah.
way it goes. But if you choose not to, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just like for some reason society try to make you be wrong because you don't want to take over somebody else's responsibility. And there
Hmm.
ain't nothing wrong with that. Just like saying you don't have to go purchase a used car. But if you do, you gotta deal with whatever's wrong with that used car. Or
Right.
you could go to the dealership and buy your brand new car with no miles on it. Now it might cost you more, but that's your choice. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's unfortunate sometimes, but people look at it when it comes down to families and people, they always different. Nah, this shit is all the same. Man, it's just you choose for what's best for you, man. If you chose you didn't want to continue that route, I mean you for that, man. Because most people won't do that. Most will just go with the flow. I've been dealing with her for so long, whoop, 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 and I like her, I love her, whatever. But you still got to make a good choice for you because it's still your life, and you stood on what you stood on, and I respect it, bro. You know, okay, gotta
Yeah.
like it. I can respect it. You know what I mean? Sure.
Yeah. Because it's like when people be on social media bashing us for having these type of standards and having these type of just standing on business or whatever like that. They never sit
Yeah.
back and ask us why. They just
Yeah.
get mad and this
Yeah.
and that and
And,
gaslight and all that other shit.
yeah.
But I was raised by a stepfather, man. My stepdad, he passed away back in 2017, but he was in my
Mm.
life throughout when I was a kid, all the way till I was 24 years old.
Okay.
And this is a man that I saw every day. He took care of me, fed me, clothed me, all that stuff, taught me life lessons and
Right.
taught me how to fix things and this and that. So when him and my mom broke up, I just remember just being in shock about it because I didn't know it was turmoil. So I decided to call him, and he pretty much just told me up front, like, I appreciate you if you don't call me ever again. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm just started to like, what you say? Like, what did you say? Like, like I have to make sure I wasn't tripping. So he was just
You
like,
said what? You said he appreciates you if you don't never call him again.
yeah,
Damn. Yeah, that's
I
tough.
know, I know code, right? So
Right. I didn't hear that right at first.
yeah,
I had to hear you
yeah,
keep talking. Like, hold up. I must have hear what he said there. Okay.
yeah. So like, I can laugh about it now, but when he told me that, it just was kind of like, what are you talking about? Like, you raised me, you my pops, and this and that, and he just pretty much just got rid of me, man,
Yeah.
and that was really like tough to deal with. And I said I would never do that. I would never put a child that I possibly raised in that position, because at the end of the day, when you invested so much time in people and they just toss you away like you just trash, and
Yeah.
that's a
Oh.
hurtful feeling. It
Yeah.
make you mad at the world a little bit.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But God knew what He was doing, because my biological father ended up coming back. Um, I'd say 6 months later, and
Okay.
a and that was a journey within itself. But I had finally had got the answers I was looking for throughout my entire life, because all I just
Yeah.
wanted to know was what happened. And he told me what happened, and we ended up just having our ups and downs with that. And I just sit back and really think about it, because I'm at the age now when he had me. So I can probably understand what he was going through, and I can empathize with him a little bit now. And
Yeah.
I recently talked to him, and we just buried the hatchet, And I just told him, like, look, I ain't trying to live in the past. I ain't trying to be in my 60s and 70s mad
Right.
at you, like you
Right.
was with your
True.
dad.
Mm.
Because we got a choice, man. At the end of the day, like no matter where we came from and how we was brought up, we have a choice of who we can become. And I decided to just become a success and become just a good positive role model for my nieces and nephews because they
Yeah.
looking up at me and seeing all of this and it's just like wow, like we never thought that we would see this in our lifetime. Just somebody that actually started a business and talking to celebs, talking to just famous people and
Mm.
having all of this and stuff. And I just thinking about the future, man. But I'm grateful for my past. I'm grateful for my childhood, the things that I had to exhibit because this what made me who I am
And
today.
it shapes
And
you up. Yeah.
yeah, it
Mm.
builds character because I don't want I don't want anybody to think that I had things handed to me, that I had it easy and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's just balance. It's
Mm-hmm.
about balance,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Because I don't play victim, man. I just play my position.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
'Cause, I mean, playing
So,
victim don't help, man. Playing victim don't help no matter who it is, man. It's tough as any situation could be.
hmm
Because my childhood was love. I wish a lot of people could experience my childhood, but a lot of people I met and people I know, close ones, my wife or my ex-wife and other people I know, man, they had some tough childhoods. I'd be like, damn, yeah, you going through all that? Like, damn,
right.
that's tough. I thought I had some shit going on, but mine wasn't nothing. I get it now, but we have to get to a point where, like you said, you accepted the truth. It's this is what happened. And a lot of times I think, like I tell my kids now, man, when y'all was born, I didn't know what I was doing. I still don't be knowing what I'm doing sometimes.
hmm
We figuring this shit out every day. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to have this plan, but I ain't had the money like that to have this whole life plan for you to have all this set up so every year everything is going in order. Nah, my boy, it ain't working like that. So,
No.
some of this stuff we freestyle. And so sometimes I make the wrong decision, but I will learn from it. And when it happens again, we're gonna make a better decision and we're gonna be better about it. And I think back to how my parents were, we expect like, damn, how y'all didn't know? How you well, they was young too. They was in their 20s, you know what I'm saying? Whatever.
Yeah.
Teenagers, early 30s, whatever. They shit, nobody know until you had that third, fourth, fifth one. But everybody ain't trying to have that many. 'Cause, that
Yeah.
first kid is down there all freestyle. And the second kid, you start learning from what you did with the first one. And then the third and fourth, you kind of got an idea of what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? But so with our parents, man, sometimes it's hard, but we have to get them grace because they was living at the time and they was just trying to do the best that they could. And sometimes we could say they could have did better, or they could have did worse. We don't know, but they did. They made their choices at their time, and whatever those choices were, you have to accept them and move on from
Yeah.
them. Or if you don't, that shit gonna be eating at you for the rest of your life. Like you said, you be 50, 60, 70 years old, still mad about what happened with your parents or what happened with your childhood. Some of it, man, we can't fix it, but we can learn from it and grow from it and be like, when my time comes, you get a chance to have children on your own, you have all the right path and the clean slate to raise your children the way we'll want to do them. And nobody else can say nothing about it. But you got the chance to break that chain once you had your own seed. You know what I'm saying? Or your nieces and nephews, you know what I'm saying? You can help change them. You know, you can help them benefit off of what you're doing and being a better person so they don't experience some of the things you experience. That's what we try to do, is try to change the experiences if they was tough experiences. If they was tough upbringings, you want to break that bad cycle of life or cycle of parenting. Because like my parents, I be telling them, I'm like, the shit y'all went through, how did y'all become good parents? You know, my dad grew up in foster care, and my mom, she ain't had no relationship with her dad, and then my grandma was tough on her. And for some reason, my grandma was hard on her and her sister, but a little more lenient on the boys. But through their discrepancies, they chose, when they had me and my brother, to love us in a different way, in a different format. And from them doing that, we have no choice. When we have our kids, all we know is love. So that's all we gonna give them is love. It might be tough love sometimes, but you're gonna get tough love, soft love, you're gonna get it all. You're gonna get the support, and like I said, I grew up in a very supportive family, and it's, I hate when I hear other people didn't have that, and it's like, man, you missed out on a lot. Not having a supportive family and not having people to protect you and love you and care for you the way you should. Because that's all, because no kid asked to be here. We put them here.
Right.
A night of passion will put you in a lot of world trouble. But
Yeah.
one night of passion, boy.
Yeah.
So it ain't the kids' fault. So it's on the adults, man, to try to do their best to do right by their children, man.
Oh, no.
And you do a good job, man, for your nieces and your nephews, man, because some people don't even do that.
Man, my nieces, they like my daughters, man. They taught me how to love. They taught me just the fact, like, I didn't have to be Superman, but as long as I was a good man, it was enough. Because they may be teenagers now and stuff like that, all big, growing up. They still hold me to that stature of respect. They never disrespected me. They never talked back to me. If anything, like, it feels good knowing that my 18-year-old niece still calls me and asks me for advice and stuff. And I was, yeah, I was like, well, I guess I'm making progress.
So them Asians, man, them mothers don't like to talk to you. Like, I be having to beg my son. He's 13. Talk to me. But what's going on with you? What's going on with your practice, man? You so quiet. I don't know when the last time I heard your voice. Caught up in their own little world, man.
Yeah.
Man, these kids nowadays, they different.
Yeah. And it's cool because I just never would have thought, like, because I was 18 when she was born, the oldest one, and I was 24 when her sister was born. And when I tell you, like, I was just figuring it out because I just wanted to be present. And I knew that they was going to need me, eventually when they was old enough to know my existence and stuff like that. But it was so cool, man, just to watch the growing stages and watching them learn how to walk, watching them how to ride a bike, taking them to school. It was really cool, showing up to parent-teacher conferences. And I was really there. I was really active.
Man,
and
you were really active as an uncle, man. Yeah, most kids don't get uncles now. I ain't gonna hold you.
No, yeah, we didn't, and I remember how much of a impact on me that had on me because my uncles were some American gangsters and shit. So yeah, like jail, prison, attempted murders, type shit. So I didn't really have a male positive role model in my life. So I wanted to do that. I wanted to just be that, and even to this day, like, I just, show them that I'm a human.
Right.
I'm here. and I'm making that effort and stuff.
That's
But
good,
also,
bro.
thank you, bro. Thank you. And I just also wanted to just, yeah, thank you. And I also just wanted to just backpedal on what you said, just about the love and tough love and this and that. Like, I just hate when people try to make it seem like they were just in a horror movie, but because even when I try to explain like my childhood and stuff like that, I don't try to paint it as dark or gloomy
Yeah,
and all that. I had some great times, like,
yeah,
and the great times that I would have, like my mom, like, because I never told her this, you know what I'm saying? She may find out from watching this, but it would be the best times, like in the morning time before getting ready for school, because we would be up at the same time, because she would get ready for work and I'd be getting ready for school and just listening to the radio and stuff like
right.
that. Because she would work third shift most of the time, and then she worked first shift and stuff. So one night, I remember I had snuck and listened to her radio and stuff. Remember them big old stereos that was on the
Yeah,
floor
big
and
win
stuff
party,
like
yeah. Hmm.
that. Yeah, so she had that D'Angelo Brown Sugar album, man, and
Hey, classic,
yes,
classic.
and I just remember just listening to it, and I fell asleep. So she gets home from work, woke me up. It was like, boy, what the hell are you doing over here? Messing with my stuff. And I was thinking I was gonna get the biggest whooping ever. And I was like, Mama, I'm sorry, Mama. I like it. And she's like, you like it? Like, what do you mean you like it? I'm like, it's just sounds good and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
she was just like, okay, well, get your ass up off that floor and go to bed and stuff. And
yeah,
then I remember coming home from school, man, I had a boom box, I had a cassette tape, and I had some headphones. So
yeah.
she bought that for me. And she was like, now you have your own copy, because if I catch you and my shit again, I'm gonna fuck you up. But yeah, yeah, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? It just was one of those
That has to be
memories.
fun. Yeah. Hmm.
It's just those memories that you have that be so timeless. Like no matter how old you get, it's just you
Right.
remember where you was at when that
Yeah.
situation occurred.
You can go right back in that moment. Yeah. You know, since you said that, like you said, you could go right back in that moment, man. It made me think like a lot of people trip off of me, like it could be a song or a movie come out when we were kids, and I'd be like, yeah, that movie came out in '93 because I was living in such and such, or
Hmm.
this came out, and I'm telling people, they were like, well, they always know exactly when stuff came out. And I'm like, well, I had to know where my life was because I was moving so much. My life depended on to know what was going on in that time frame. So
Right.
certain songs came out. I can remember when I was a certain age. I'm like, oh yeah, I was 7. I was living here, so I know when that song came out. Or I knew when this movie came out, because you could just go back and hear a song. I still listen to a lot of the old '90s R&B and stuff like that, '80s and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And man, it could just take you right back to where you was in that moment when you first heard it. And those be great moments, man. Those memories. Yeah, they stay with you forever, man. They stay with you forever. Gotta have, gotta have
Yeah, this.
those. You want to make sure you get those out to the younger generation.
Oh, I do, man, and it's just a wonderful thing because it's it's lovely to age and get older and stuff like that because it's just funny now because everybody be calling me Unc and OG, and I kind of be staring like, who they talking about? And I'm like, I know they ain't talking about me, you know, but I just, but I
Like,
love it though.
yeah, man, you so old. Like my daughter, she been graduating high school. I'll be like, you keep rushing to be grown. I'm telling her about
Hmm.
some things I got to deal with, or some stuff I just had to go pay and all this, and she was seeing people getting pulled over by police. I said, keep rushing to be grown. That's what you're going to be dealing with. This is everyday life as an adult. We got
Yeah.
responsibility. all the time. I was like, all this stuff y'all be having to do, we got to get y'all here, and y'all just know we just get y'all there. I said, but y'all don't know all the plans that it took for us to be able to get y'all to get there. All the conversations we got to share, we got to have with parents, and trying to see if somebody can get them here, get them there. I'm at work, I can't get there, or whatever. It's more to it than just being over age, being 18, and you can just do what you want. It comes with some responsibility. So it'd be funny. I'll be telling them, man, like, don't rush the life. Cause shit, if I could go back to being a senior back in 2004, shoot, things would be different. Things would be. I tell you, I enjoyed my senior year, man. It was dope. And my daughter, she just wanted to rush. I'm like, don't rush your senior year, man, because it ain't gonna be nothing like it again.
No.
Yeah, I said some of them kids that you so tight with, when y'all graduate, you ain't gonna never see them again. Unfortunately, that's just how life goes. People I was real tight with, I graduated with, I ain't seen them since we graduated. Over 20 years. Just how life goes.
Yeah, and it's how it's supposed to be, because you gotta be able to outgrow people too, and stuff. Gotta be able to meet new people,
right,
and stuff. And I met a lot of great people and learned a lot about myself, and just being able to just connect with the city, and just having people that we have went to school with, know that we have something great going on in the city, because we get a bad rep, and it's just like that everywhere. But at the end of the day, I love where I come from. I love my roots, and
got a lot of pride about where we come from, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And they know I'm the only one. It might be 2 or 3 people from Michigan where I work at, but the other 2 cats, they from Detroit. And I'm the only one from Saginaw. I be telling, hey, don't say I'm from the D, because I ain't from Detroit. I ain't got no need to claim Detroit. I'm from Saginaw. I said, they know what's going on in the Sag. Hey, we hold our own, and you got to be proud of where you're from, man. And it give you a sense of little purpose to want to do right, because anytime you do good, it's gonna always represent where you came from. So I take a lot of things I learned from growing up in Saginaw. I take a lot of the good and the bad that I experienced, and I still got a lot of good relationships from a lot of people I grew up with from up there. And, and history we made when I was in high school and basketball and stuff like that on my teams. And it's just, it don't never go away, So, and it's always good when you go home, you're able to see familiar faces and stuff like that. But where you come from, man, you got to have pride about where you come from. That's what helped mold you to be the person you are. And then everything after that in your adulthood, you just adjust and grow off of it, But that centerpiece, man, Saginaw helped mold a lot of us. And a lot of us that moved away and the ones that's still there, a lot of people still doing good things, man. And shoot, you got to be proud of where you come from. Shoot, everybody else be proud where they come from. You know what I'm saying? Well, Saginaw.
Yeah, I agree. They shout it out and claim it and stuff like that. Well, we pretty much the only ones that will move, and then try to act like we from somewhere else. And I don't like that shit. Like, keep it real, keep it above.
Be 100, man. That's where you grew up inside. A lot of people don't know. I really didn't just grow all the way up in Saginaw. But people like, man, cool, man. I don't remember you in such. I was like, yeah, because I ain't go to those elementary. I moved there 3rd, 4th grade. When I first moved there, I ended up going to Loomis. And a lot of people thought I grew up in the BV area because I ended up going to BV high schools and stuff. But I'm like, no, I always lived on the east side all the time. I said, I never lived nowhere else besides the east side. All on the side of town I ever stayed on. And but So when people like, "Dang, you went there? What's the name? You ain't go to elementary school?" I'm like, "No, I meet y'all until I got the record." You know, so I went to Weber in 6th grade, went to Loomis, and then one of the twos and fews went to this little elementary out there on the west side called Herrick Elementary. I went there for 4th and 5th grade because I got kicked out of Loomis. So so I had my little experiences through the little city, but so yeah, I didn't truly grow all the way up all my years in Saginaw, but my solid 10 is I give it my home. That's my credit, but that's where my mom and my aunties and my uncles and all them grew up. My cousins, all of them from born and raised in Saginaw. But if I wasn't a Navy kid, most likely I would have grew up born and raised in Saginaw. Mom would have never left.
Yeah, that's real dope, bro. Like I grew up on the south side. I went to Solana, I went to South,
Okay, went south. Okay.
and then I went to the Hill and the High. And
Yeah.
it was real cool. Like, but I just tell everybody, like, because they're closing so many schools now, not just Saginaw, but all over the country and stuff like that. Like, they would never really get the chance to experience what we experienced. So we was fortunate.
My mom went to the high. My older brother graduated from the high. My cousins, most of my cousins, and most of my auntie and them, they didn't finish, but they all went to the high though. But I had a few that went to the Hill, but only me and like two other my cousins, we graduated out of BV. But man, that shutting down the high and the Hill, I mean, that hurt my feelings. And I'm like, I didn't even shut down the high and the Hill. I'm like, that's legendary because it hurted us when they shut down BV. But I was like, well, they was always they were talking about trying to close BV when I was still in school. So when they talked about merging it back then, they wanted to merge Ricker and BV together, and I was like, that wasn't gonna be a good look. Not when we was doing it. No, man, you might want to wait till the next wave of kids. Okay, it's gonna be free game, man. It's gonna be a little dangerous around here. Ain't gonna be right.
Right.
I don't know how you gonna separate the middle school kids from the high school kids. It's gonna be open season.
Right, be a civil war that motherfucker.
Yeah. So shit, you already had folk that were too damn old.
All right, y'all. I guess it's the end of the episode. Okay, you there?
Yeah. I don't know what about the piling and screaming.
Oh, you good, bro? I was gonna end the episode, man. I would love for you to come back, bro. Like anytime you want, man. We can make you like Lord Jamar or somebody. You know what I'm saying? You just reoccurring guests. Like for real.
Yeah, we work on something, man. Yeah, we'll work on something. We'll put something together, man. And we'll do it, man, because I enjoy it. I truly enjoy it.
Yeah, thank you, bro. And again, man, it's always a pleasure.
For sure, man.
All right, man. You take care.
All right, man. Be safe.
You too. Peace.